This problem, we have a triangle, and it has angles 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. The length of the side opposite the 30-degree angle is 8. What is the length of the hypotenuse? Well, I think it would be a good idea to draw a picture of this triangle. It's a 90-degree triangle, which means that this box is 90 degrees. If you draw it like this would be the 30-degree angle up here and the 60-degree angle down there. It says the length of the side opposite the 30-degree angle is 8. So if you go to the 30-degree angle and go opposite of it, that is 8. And it says what is the length of the hypotenuse, which would be the side opposite the 90-degree angle. Let's let that be x. There's a few ways of working this. One way would be if you're familiar with the 30, 60, 90 triangle. The ratios of its sides are 1, square root of 3, and 2. That's one of those special triangles. So what happens here is that the proportions of the sides are the same. That means 1, to go up to 8, I gotta multiply by 8. And if that one's blowing up to 8, then this 2 is also needs to multiply by 8. So we can do that very simply. We can get the x simply by multiplying the 2 by 8, and that gives me the length of the hypotenuse. There's another way you can do this. If you're familiar with trigonometry, you could use the sine function, or using trigonometry, if you do the sine of 30 degrees, that gives you the opposite side over the hypotenuse. The opposite side being 8 over the hypotenuse x. Of course, you would need a calculator, or if you know what the sine of 30 degrees is, you can solve this for x by multiplying both sides by x. These x's cancel, and you get 8 on the right-hand side, and then to solve for x, you divide both sides by the sine of 30 degrees. So of course, you would need a calculator to do this. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode. There's usually a radian mode and a degree mode. So I'm going to do 8 divided by sine of 30. And you get the same thing, 16. All right, so there's 2 ways you can do this one. There's more ways you can do it, but here's 2 ways.